guys? You look so busy.
Nothing. We're just a bit confused.
Yeah, we've been reading about our history, and one thing that about our country is about the execution of Andres Bonifacio that was ordered by Aguinaldo.
That's right. Because we really want to understand what really happened. That's why we've been searching for more information.
Wow, that sounds so exciting. Can I join you guys?
Sure. How about you guys? Join us. Let's unfold this mystery. Hi guys, so today we're gonna be talking about one of the juiciest and most dramatic questions in Philippine history.
But before we start, let us introduce ourselves. I am Cassandra Retro. I'm Anne Bonifacio.
And I'm Brent Lawrence P. Hernandez.
Meet the Blubbers.
So guys, back to the question.
Did Emilio Aguinaldo order Andres Bonifacio to be executed because of his wishes? Or is it more complicated than that? A lot of people believe that Aguinaldo was jealous, insecure, or simply hated Bonifacio. Some even say that Bonifacio was killed because Aguinaldo wanted all the powers.
Teleserye vibes, right? But is it true?
Historians like Ambeto Campo and Teodoro Agoncillo explain that the execution wasn't just personal hatred. It was rooted in political conflict, power struggles inside the revolution, different visions, and a messy leadership problem.
To help us figure things out, we brought our team, so let's call them in.
The historian student who's interested on this myth.
Let me add to that. Based on Agoncillo's revoke of masses, Bonifacio felt cheated during the Tejeros Convention. He believed that the election was unfair and he declared the result invalid. Meanwhile, according to Ambeto Campo, both sides were acting out of frustration and panic. The revolution was falling apart and leaders were so desperate. So, before we jump into Aguinaldo hated him, we have to remember that number one, there was chaos. Number two, there is miscommunication. And number three, distrust. And honestly, the situation was merely political.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fastest trial in the Philippines history.
The courtroom reenactor.
Oh no, this is gonna be so good! Bonifacio was accused of a treason, but guess what? No lawyer, no proper defense. Some witnesses were unreliable. The court finds Andres Bonifacio and Procopio guilty.
Isn't it too fast?
Exactly. According to historian Milagros Guerrero, the trial was biased and heavily influenced by Aguinaldo's generals, especially Mariano Noriel and Pio del Pilar. So, was it personal hate for Aguinaldo or pressure from his own men? That's the real question.
Alright,
Here is the political analyst.
let's take this to a more analytic level. When we talk about the execution of Bonifacio, we cannot just look at the emotions. We also need to look at the political realities.
Political realities? What do you mean?
Well, think of it this way. So, the Katipunan wasn't a united organization anymore. By 1872, it divided two strong blocks, which is the Magdalo by Aguinaldo's group and Magdiwang by Bonifacio's group. So, these groups weren't just rivals. They completely had different priorities. And here, where it gets intense. Aguinaldo's faction believed that the revolution needed structure, discipline, centralized leadership, while Bonifacio's faction believed in mass participation, equality, and a more democratic Katipunan.
So they had different political visions?
Exactly, very different. Bonifacio represented grassroots while Aguinaldo represented the military and political elite of Cavite. Now, imagine you're Aguinaldo. the revolution are collapsing, the Spanish forces are closing in, then your generals are panicking. Then suddenly, Bonifacio challenges your legitimacy as president.
That sounds like political chaos.
It was political chaos. Historically, when revolutions are divided, they tend to fail. So some political analysts, and yes, even some historians argue that Aguinaldo made the decision not out of personal hatred, but out of fear of total collapse. In other words, Aguinaldo may have believed that Bonifacio was a political threat to the unity of the revolution, not just a rival he disliked.
So he wasn't a villain?
That's the thing. History isn't black and white. There are no heroes and villains here. Just leaders facing impossible times. So, as a political analyst, I'd say that the conflict wasn't simply personal. It was structural, ideological, and rooted in desperate political climate of the revolution.
Okay guys, time for receipts.
And of course, the evidence collector.
The first evidence says that, according to Ambeto Campo, the rivalry between Bonifacio and Aguinaldo was purely political and not personal hatred. The second evidence says that, according to the Tejeros Convention records, Bonifacio felt cheated during the election, which increased the tension between him and Aguinaldo. According from the third evidence, the trial documents from Maragondon shows heavy influences from generals and not from Aguinaldo alone. According to the fourth evidence from the historian's analysis, many notes that Aguinaldo hesitated to order the execution of Bonifacio.
So he didn't want it?
Not fully, but the pressure from his inner circle influenced his decision. So that's why.
Okay guys, let's wrap it up.
Finally, the summarizer.
Was there tension? Yes. Was there political rivalry? Definitely. Was it pure personal hatred? Historians say no. The decision came from political chaos, pressure from generals, and a deeply divided revolution. Not simply Aguinaldo being jealous. At the end of the day, both Aguinaldo and Bonifacio fought for the same dream: freedom.
So you guys, what do you think?
Team Aguinaldo? Team Bonifacio?
Our team history is complicated.
To understand the past,
We must look for facts.
Research deeply.
And honor all people who shaped our countries.
Again, this is Christmas with Receipts.